Hey, what's up, filmmakers? Welcome to Project Freelance. Those of you that like shooting music videos, or if you're wanting to learn how to shoot music videos, if you want to know how those filmmakers start shooting for major labels, major label bands, listen to this episode. I have Jon Vulpine on this podcast. I met Jon when I was up in Seattle filming some behind the scenes stuff for Vespera. If you guys want to check out Jon's stuff, check him out at Jon Vulpine. All of his shit is on Instagram. The link is down below. Not only is that down below, but there's also a link to my website, kanagoniophotography.com. There's a blog post that I wrote that coincides with this episode. I do that every single week. Yeah, I write an entire blog post. I record a podcast. I edit for clients. I work on new projects, old projects. You guys, I just do a lot, okay? If you would like to show me some support, you can head to gofundme.com/respectthecrew. I am raising money for a documentary series that I have been working on for the past year. Check it out if you guys are interested. There are some awesome perks including some custom all-access tour type merch for you guys that I created myself. Go check it out. Other than that, if you guys are looking to get some editing software, Adobe software, whether it be Lightroom, Premiere, After Effects, whatever it is that you might need, Adobe probably has it. And I have a discount for you. Students, you guys get 60% off. And if you're not a student, don't worry, you still get some amazing deals. So when I first met Jon, he told me that he gets his music video work mostly from record labels through an agency that he's with. I had no idea that that was a thing. So I asked Jon to tell me more about being under an agency for music videos. So we spoke about it, and then I asked him to be on my podcast, and it took us a little while to coordinate schedules and things, but I finally got him on the podcast, and it is truly one of my favorite episodes of this podcast. If you guys like it, please be sure to rate it and leave me a comment below. Leave me some feedback. If you guys want to find me, go to @KNagonioPhotography on Instagram, KNagonioPhotography.com. If you guys want to support the documentary series I am working on, head over to respectthecrew.com. If you're driving, if you don't have access to your device right now, don't worry. Everything will be down in the description. You can go back later. I know a lot of you guys want to be able to take notes while you listen to these podcasts. If you guys don't have a chance to take notes because you're driving, go read the blogs. The blogs will tell you everything you need to know. And there's comment sections for you guys. You can tweet me at @KNagonio. There are ways to get in touch with me, guys. Don't be afraid. Don't be worried. I have your backs. That's why I made this for you. Enjoy this podcast. Jon, let's get into this. Let's go.
My name is Jon Vulpine. I'm a director and editor and occasional DP. I do mainly music videos and commercials. Starting to do more film stuff this year. I started when I was probably about 14. So it was like before YouTube, before I had a car, before I had anything. I lived in a town where literally nothing happened. So the only sense of enjoyment was just filming just stupid shit with my friends and my neighbors and just trying to make each other laugh. And then, after a couple of years of getting pretty good at filming stupid stuff, some guy was like, "Hey, do you film music videos?" And I was like, "I don't know, I think I could." I mean, I watch a lot of music videos. I never went to film school, so I just watched, old Mark Webb and, David Slade, just music videos 24/7. So I was like, I'm sure I could do it, probably, maybe. And so I did it, and I remember it was super draining, and it was just so tiring. It was the most boring video ever. And then some other band saw it because YouTube had just come out, and they were like, "Hey, you want to do our video?" And then, "Hey, do you want to?" "Oh, well, the label we're signed to is throwing some show called Eulogy Fest. Do you want to film Eulogy Fest in Miami?" And I was like, "Okay." And so at that point, I was starting to get more into music videos, and I had graduated college. This was 2008. Just graduated college. I was 20. And I was like, you know what?
What did you graduate with?
I graduated with a biology degree because I was going to go be a doctor. So,
Oh, how the tables turn.
yeah. So it came time for me to be like, you know what? I can do film and have that be my life. That I really like to do that. Or I can go down this road to be a doctor, which I don't really like to do. I never went to school. I always skipped class. I just didn't give a shit because I just wasn't interested. But it was a turning point where it was like, if I go down this college master's road, there is no coming back from that. I can't do film ever again. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I moved to New York. And I was like, you know what? I got like 2 videos under my belt. I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to make it because I'm going to like, everyone's going to want to hire me. And I didn't know my way around the subways. So I had my little, it wasn't even a reel. It was just a video on a DVD. And just a weird resume. And I made these crazy folders with like tape on them and stuff to just make them look weird and shit. And I passed them out to 60 production offices in Manhattan. I walked to 60 with like a button-down shirt and like pants, make myself look like a professional. I walked to 60 offices and I never got one call back. So I was running out of money, and I had worked in a pharmacy in Florida because it was in the medical field and whatever, was good money. So I was like, shit, I need to get a job. I can get a job in a pharmacy because I have experience doing that. And I remember getting a job in the pharmacy, and I remember like waking up one day and it was 4 months later, and I was like, I didn't come to New York to work in this pharmacy. Like it's 4 months later. It felt like it was a week later, and I'm like, the time is just fucking wasting away. And so I told my manager to fuck himself, and I remember I was saving up for this camera that I wanted to get. It was an old JVC broadcast camera. It was huge. It was enormous. It was like 3 feet long. It was just huge.
It is, for all of you that don't know camera gear, like it is the most obnoxious camera for sure. And like journalists, like stringers still film on that bullshit. Like, get a DSLR, bro.
Yeah, if you like watch the Super Bowl and you see that guy lugging that giant brick camera around, that's the camera. And
like you look like a fucking idiot, bro.
Yeah. But like back then there was no DSLRs, so like that was what you shot on. I was shooting on tape. So I told my manager to fuck himself, and then I took the train home, and the camera was waiting by my front door. My giant Pelican case that it came in. And I remember hitting up a bunch of people on MySpace back in the day, and I was like, hey, I do videos. You want a video for free? I just want to build up my stuff, blah, 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 blah. And only like one person wrote me back, and he's still my buddy to this day. And that's how I got my start in videos. I just started living off unemployment because I got fired. I didn't want to quit. I wanted to tell him to go fuck himself and then have him fire me so I got unemployment. So I started doing videos, started making $125 a week from unemployment, and just started doing a bunch of videos for free and living like shit for the next year. But that built up my reputation and my resume and my reel and my client list, and it made me better. And it was, and then bigger artists took notice, and and then once bigger artists take notice and you have more recognizable names in your reel, then I shopped it out to reps, and I got repped, and then I started doing label videos, and that's it. That's what happened.
That's not it. Let's wrap it. That's it. It's over. 6 minutes. We're done. So MySpace, you give credit, a lot of credit to MySpace, and like talk to me about social media and how it's changed and how you've seen it change. And as far as, I guess we could talk about like the oversaturation and if it's been harder for you to like get clients that way, or if it's been easier thanks to that.
I think back in the day, MySpace was great. I never remember any ads on MySpace. I never remember anything like that. I think it was for musicians. It was awesome for musicians. you had just personalization. You could put music on your page. People went to your page and they knew who you were without even talking to you. And I don't know, I feel like nowadays it's not about personalization. It's about just fitting in with what everyone else is doing. And it's all about selling you something. If I can't sell you something, then, I don't want you here. So I think that's...
Yeah, because everyone's trying to make a business out of it. And that, I just want to like pop in and say, like, there is this new app that's going around called Vero, and everyone's been signing up for it the past like 2-3 days. And it's like the first 1 million people get it for free, and then after that it's going to be like an annual base subscription kind of thing. But they're trying to keep it so that there's no ads forever. But I mean, like, doesn't everybody say that at the beginning of their, company? And so they're like, oh, we can make more money. But I mean, like, hopefully, like, this could be something. Because to me, it incorporates all the social media we already have plus some.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vimeo is great sometimes, but you have to pay for it. YouTube has just been garbage. I mean, I know DPs who have had their entire pages taken down by YouTube, and it's just so ridiculous. They're such pieces of shit. I don't know.
It really, like, as somebody that's also been on YouTube since its inception, like, to see the way it is now, like, I dread posting things on YouTube. I used to do a video every single day. I did 1,000 days in a row.
Oh.
And now I just, like, I'd rather just put them on my website at this point,
Absolutely.
Like, I don't even care. Like, I used to make like a paycheck from YouTube, and now I think last month I made like $33. Sick.
Yeah. And I know dudes who have had their entire page taken down, and that's, I had something wrongly flagged by Vimeo last year, and it was so stupid. They flagged a video I did claiming that Universal had reported it for copyright infringement, and then I hit up Universal and they were like, yeah, we don't own that, we never flagged it. And I hit Vimeo back and I was like, why did you take this down? Universal said that they didn't flag it, and they're like, oh, my bad, and then they put it back up. And I'm like, if you do that...
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is like automated. It sucks.
If you do that to like a director's entire page and it's down for 2 months, that's business. I can't show clients videos. My website's down now because I stream from Vimeo. It's more than just taking a video down. It's your entire, it's your entire portfolio. That's what they don't realize.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Like we talk about how, a lot of people are negative about the YouTube situation because, people are saying like, they're only doing it for money then, like whatever. But like, as creators, we're not necessarily using YouTube for money. We're using YouTube as a platform and an avenue for us to get our work out there so that we can then sell something to make that money. We're not using YouTube to make money. It's just a platform. And the fact that we can make money off it, like, that's dope. Yeah. But yeah, like you're saying, like, it's your entire portfolio that is in jeopardy because of the way things are and the way these analytics are, like, it's so much harder to reach your audience now. It's
so stupid. And I don't understand analytics. I don't try to. Like, there's people who are like, yeah, you got to know how the analytics play to this. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut up.
Like, you're just saying a bunch of shit.
Yeah, you really don't know.
Like, a lot of it really does have to do with timing, Like, for example, I just posted a video about that social media app I was talking about, Vero, and I talk about, like, what it is and why I think it has, like, potential. And because I started to see people, like, joining it the first day I signed up, I was like, I gotta post something about this because it's, like, good timing. So here's a day later, it has 7,000 views already just because everybody's talking about it. So, I mean... Like, fuck analytics. I don't know how that shit works either. Like, it's about timing. That's the only way you can make something go quote unquote viral.
Yeah, if it's something that people are looking up, something that they're focused on right now, this week, this minute, then it's gonna go viral. So
talk to me about when you were living in New York and you were living off of unemployment and you were struggling and you were trying to make it as a DP, a director. Talk to me about, like, mentally how that was, because I know that I've been through, similar situations where you're struggling and you're so doubtful of yourself, and maybe, I don't know if you did, but like I personally have questioned what I'm doing so many times, you know?
So many times, really. But it was after my New York experience is when I really questioned myself. And I've been really fortunate to have a good mentor and good people around me to really put things in perspective. But when I was living in New York, you know, I mean, we would like con 7-Eleven for free food and just, you know, live like bums. But the people that I was with, you know, like everybody was doing that. That was just, everybody was my age. Everybody was doing that. You know, you go into this dude's mom house, she's making spaghetti, and then you go to his basement and there's some makeshift studio with a mattress. Like everybody had that mindset. And it didn't feel like I was, you know, it felt like I was just part of the whole underground. It didn't feel like, you know, I was struggling to make it or, you know, not where I wanted to be. I wasn't focused on that. I was really focused on just always, like, I put out like a video a week, and just meet people and go these places. And hey, this guy's going to be at this bar. All right, let's go to this bar. Let's meet him. You know, it was just so fast paced, and I was surrounded by a lot of people who were like-minded and doing the same thing, that I never questioned what I was doing, because I don't think I ever had time to. I was always busy coming up with some plot, or
always busy doing it. You're too busy to think about it. Yeah, no, definitely. So, how was the scene there? Like, how was the local scene? Like, as far as, you know, the photo side and the music side, because you do music videos.
Yeah, it was awesome back then. Like, everybody helped everybody, and if somebody didn't like you, they told you right then, like, yo, I don't like you. Like, there was no like talking shit behind somebody's back. Like, it's New York. Like, if someone doesn't like you, you're gonna know about it. You're gonna know about it now. But I just remember there was a bunch of showcases, bunch of people performing. Everybody would try to help everybody, try to network with MySpace, and Facebook was coming out. Twitter had just come out, and everyone was focused on the Twitter game. And it was just, hey, I got a show next week. You want to perform here? Yeah, there's a party bus going on. Do you want to open for me on this? It's like everyone was just super supportive, and I never really saw like a lot of hate. Everyone was just trying to help each other, and I thought that was really cool. And yeah, in some places, yeah, I think now everybody's just trying to be the same thing. I don't think there's any distinction. Like, if you listen to some of these rappers with the Gucci Gang dude and the Lil Yachty dude, there's no difference between them. They're the same thing. There's no difference. I mean, but I guess every scene, like every 10 years, I get like the scene like restarts. But I'm sure if you went back to like 06 and you went to like a Dance Gavin Dance show, you'd be like, everybody here is the same, you know? So it's, you know, I think it's just me being an old piece of shit, and I'm like, these kids nowadays are all fucking the same. But yeah, but I don't know. I think people nowadays, I don't know. I think social media has hurt a lot of things, because now all people see is stuff, a life that they want to compare theirs to. You know what I'm saying? They see all these people traveling and going on planes and models, perfect poses, and they're like, oh, that can't be me. I want that to be me. It's like, that is not the real life. People have to understand, like, if you've ever hung out with a model, it's not real life. It's not. They are dirty. No, they are dirty. They're just like you. They everybody shits, all right, at the end of the day. So,
except people that don't have buttholes. Sorry about it.
That's true. Except Jeff Bezos has paid for his to get closed.
True. Yeah. topic for another conversation. But so you were making a video every single week. Were you making money off of those, or was that just free work? Like, when did you start making money? Like, when was that transition, and how did that feel?
Well, I never made like a ton of money because, well, I'll get into this, but I was living in New York, and it was like a couple months in, and my buddy was like, yo, you need to charge for videos. I was like, how much should I charge? Like, what do people make? And he's like $300 at least. $300. It's a lot of money. I was like, oh shit, all right. So I started charging $300, and some people were paying me. Some people were like, can you do like $150? And I was like, yep.
So you got to that place where you could finally say no.
Yeah. Well, no, I was saying yes to everything. People were like, can you do it for like $200, $150? I was like, yep, anything. What do you want? And I overextended myself a lot, but that was because I was young and I was just starting out and I didn't know any better. So, there was no one to tell me that was wrong. And I really had like a mentor at that point. And then it got to the point where no one was paying me. My unemployment had run out, and I just didn't see it feasible to work in New York anymore. So before I left for New York, I was filming with this one dude who I will remain nameless. And I called him up, and he was making a little leeway. He was never a director; he was more a producer. He was making a little bit of headway with some artists in Miami. He had gotten in touch. He had been given contacts and stuff. So he's like, I have some contacts down here. If you come down here, we can make some videos. So I moved back to Florida and started making videos for labels like Po Boy, Sean Kingston, Soulja Boy, just a bunch of artists based in Florida, and never really made money. Like, never really made a lot of money because the guy who was producing for me was terrible at business. Terrible. I didn't start making great money because I've always had somebody. I always had somebody take care of my business for me, because business is something that I don't want to ever deal with. I don't want to think about it. It confuses me. I hate math. I just want to deal with being creative and doing that. And I think that was the detriment, because we do like a $70,000 video for Universal, and I would make less than $200 on it. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, things were more expensive than I thought. This. I'm like, what? What are you doing? So I lived broke for a long time, probably until 2 years ago. Yeah, it was very, very bad. It was, he was just a terrible, terrible business person. But for some reason I never saw it, because the video, for me, it was more important that the videos look great than for me to ever have money. Like, I'm like, I don't have to go out. I don't have to do that. I don't have to have the coolest new car. As long as my visuals look crazy and people want me to keep making them, then, that's all I care about. But I got older and I was like, you're fucking stupid. You need money. What are you doing? You don't need to do that. So I started focusing more on business and myself, and got rid of him. And things have just been a lot smoother.
How did you start learning the business side of things? Because for a lot of amateurs, and I mean even some professionals, like, they have no fucking idea where to start. So like, where did you start, and how did you come to a place where you felt confident enough to handle that?
Well, it's all about I learned from his really shitty decision making, and the things that he did that were really, really, really bad. Like, all right, I'll give you some examples. So, and it always involved me because I was a director and I would always get fucked. So these two girls came to him and they were like, hey, we want to film a pilot to our TV series. And so he was like, okay, let's go out to dinner, go over the contract, sign them. Without me, he went by himself. So these girls signed under their business. And I was like, did you have a lawyer look at this? He was like, nope. And I was like, why wasn't I at the dinner? He was like, well, it was a business dinner. You didn't do business. I'm like, all right. And it turns out that LLC was not real, that they signed it under. So all the money that we came out of our pockets to make this pilot, because I was told that we would get it back and blah, 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 we get percentage, whatever. It did never happen because the LLC was never real. So all of my business knowledge is because he did business horribly, and I just learned what not to do. And, you know, always budget yourself first. That's a big thing. You know, when you're given a budget, you know, if a client says, hey, our budget's $5,000, what can you do? Always put money aside for yourself first. Always say, you know what, well, I'm going to put $800 aside. That's for me. And then now I have $4,200 to make this video. Always worry about yourself, because if you don't, then things are just going to keep snowballing and you're not going to get paid. And that's what happened for a lot of years. That's very important. Always get everything in writing. Always get everything in writing. If anything else fails, that is always on your side, is having stuff in writing. Even if it's in an email, you can prove that they said it. Always have it in writing. That's super, super, super important. And never, ever, ever, ever send a finished file without getting paid. Ever. If someone's like, hey, just send me the file, I need to upload it, but I'll definitely pay you, be like, no, you can pay me and then you get the file, because this is my collateral, the video, or else you just paid a bunch of money for nothing. So once they have everything that they want, there's no incentive for them to pay you, and they won't. They're going to take as much time as they want. You're not going to get paid. So always have something that they need and to leverage against them so you get your money. That's always super important.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about getting onto like an agency filming for record labels, because I had no idea that's how that worked. I just thought like the band would hit somebody up, you know? So tell me about that process and how that really works, because I mean, I'm sure there's other, you know, videographers out there that want to shoot for these signed bands and they have no idea.
Yeah, so there is, so there's about 8 to 10 directors reps in this country, and pretty much when a label has a budget for a video, they go to the reps who have rosters of directors. And I mean, every music video director, producer, DP should go to videostatic.com, because there's just lists of all the new agencies, of all the videos in production, of everything that's coming out. It's like the #1 place for music video insider news and information.
Is it a paid subscription? How does it work?
No, it's a free website. It's videostatic.com. You go, it's free. Everything's right there. You can see all the independent directors reps. You can see all the production companies, all the post houses, everyone that does work in the industry. Check out their stuff. Yeah. Wow.
It's so simple, and it's like things you don't like why can't everyone know about stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like, it's so frustrating because there's so many amazing apps and companies out there doing this great work, and it's so like I have no idea.
Exactly. And no, Video Static is awesome, and the guy who runs it, Steve, is a really cool dude. Yeah, you can go there and just look up independent reps, and that's what we did. We went there, we looked up independent reps, we hit up a couple of them, and one of them wrote us back and was like, hey, I want to represent you. And then they started sending us songs sending me songs to write on, and that was the whole process. I had to learn that whole music industry process to writing treatments for videos, and over the years how to perfect my treatments, and I've been trained on how to do the right picture to word ratio, and all that stupid shit.
The analytics of writing a proposal.
Yeah. Yeah, and it depends on what label you're shopping it to. Some label reps don't like wordy. Some label reps like wordy treatments. Some label reps just like pictures and make it like an elevator. It's so stupid.
So it's just like a
It's
guessing
so dumb.
game? That's, oh wow, okay.
Yo, the whole industry is a guessing game.
That's
Are
true.
you kidding me? Do you know
That's
do you know how many times I've been sent a brief, right, from a label? A brief is, so when on a normal day from my agent, I would get from a record label, you get the name of the song, the budget, and a brief. A brief is any notes or ideas that the band or the label has for the video.
And do they send you the
That's
actual
what a
song?
brief is. Yeah, they send you the song.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes they'll send you the lyrics if you want to read the lyrics. But the brief is, hey, if the band or anybody has any ideas for the video, it's in the brief. Okay, cool. So that sometimes, so this is the dumbest thing about my industry is, and this happened so many times. So for known acts, I would get a brief, and it was like, band wants the vibe to be really urban, outside, outdoors, just really like a really crazy city vibe. Like they really like New York City. We'll shoot it in New York City. They're based here. I'm like, awesome. I'll base it around New York City. Cool. I don't get the video. I see the video when it comes out, and it's in a studio with different colored backgrounds. I'm like,
What?
what?
What? Like what happened?
I don't know. I don't know. And what director read that brief and was like, fuck that. We're going to make different colored backgrounds, and that's it. Like, I don't understand. I have no idea. So at this point, I don't even read briefs at all. Literally at all. I don't read them at all. I disregard them completely. And I do my own thing. So that's what you have to do. No, you have to understand that the client doesn't know what they want. They don't know what they want.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what they want. I deal with creative directors for commercials. They don't know what they want. They'll send me feedback for a video, and they're like, can we have the beginning less like it is? I'm like, what?
I'm like, can you make the song a little bit better than it is?
Yeah. Can you make the ending a little less, and a little more, what?
Can you put that into words,
don't know what you
please?
want. Yeah. Can you make the beginning, can you make the middle a little less feel like it's in the middle and the beginning? I'm just like, you don't know what the hell you want. No one knows what they want. Understand that.
Can we talk about your process of editing of like a music video? Like your, just from start to finish?
So rap videos are kind of similar. Rock videos are easier for me because just more things to cut to. Instead of one person, you have 5 people. What I do is, after I ingest all my footage, I use Adobe Premiere. Been using that since 2003. After I ingest my footage, I line up all my shots. I line up all of my takes. One frame after a cymbal hit is the perfect sync for drum footage. I line up all my stuff. I have about 17 video layers, depending on how many takes there were. They're all lined up, stacked on top of each other, and then you watch back every single take and see what your best parts are, your best moves. And when I'm shooting, I do a lot of movement in camera because I know how it's going to edit together. I know that this shot is I'm gonna pan this way, quick pan this way, and it's gonna pan into something else. And the most important thing is knowing what it's gonna look like before you even shoot your video.
Yeah, I think backwards engineering the video. That's how I do it as well. It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, how else can you come up with a story? So continue. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's the most important thing is planning, and any problems that you have about the concept or anything, fix that in prep. Don't fix that in post. Fix that prep wise, because the less you have to fix in post, the better. Make sure your concept is great. Make sure your shots are planned out. Make sure it's legible for people to watch, and balance your frame. Balance your frame. Study David Fincher and how he balances a frame, because that is very important. making, because everyone's eye is naturally drawn to the center of the screen. So you either have to load your sides or load your center to keep everything really, really nice and really enjoyable for people to watch. And that's something that I had to learn too, because when I was a kid, when I was young, I would just fucking whip the camera around and be like, crazy shots, awesome, and I would just, shoot people upside down and shit. I just didn't care. It wasn't I didn't care, I was just trying different things out, and I was like, that's stupid, that's cool, I'm gonna keep that. But now I think my style has definitely changed from, like, I watch my videos from like 6 years ago and I can't even watch them, they're just too fast. My style is definitely a lot more boring now, and I think more cinematic and movie-like, because that's what I'm trying to get into. And I think, you just gotta change the style. I don't think that type of style is around anymore. The crazy, weird overlays and shit.
Yeah, I think it works like every now and then, but I think you're right. I think that's kind of phased out, and we've gotten, new editing techniques and new, visuals, if you will. So I mean, like the horizon has expanded for that. So I think that, but you're right. Like, it's so interesting because I do the same thing. I go look back at my old videos and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like
they gave you a degree? This? Like, what? Like, what's it like to get to travel like all over the place? Some of your favorite places you've gotten to go, some of your experiences you like?
Traveling is really cool. Traveling is awesome. I love traveling and meeting different people. I have friends in all over the country. LA, Dallas, Boston, everywhere. Favorite place is probably Puerto Rico, because I hate beaches, but for some reason I went there and it was just the most relaxing thing ever. It was just the air was really nice. It was just super relaxing. I hate the cold. I hate the cold all the time. So anytime I have to go to the cold, I don't want to do it. Dallas is awesome, but I was in the airport coming back from Seattle in December, and I was kind of thinking, I was like, you know what? I spend so much time in airports, and like I watch my Instagram, my friends are like, doing like laser tag or something, and I think it would be cool if I could have, a normal life, but you chose this life that's not normal. So so it comes with it almost.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I've talked to some, touring artists, Josh Balls from Motionless in White. He spent a lot of his, young adult life living on the road, and he would talk about coming home, and he'd only be home for maybe like a week, and then he'd have to go back out for another 3 months. And like he said how weird it was to come home and everyone's just like continuing on with their life, and it's like you put your life on pause and you came back and all of a sudden it was like sped up.
No, that's exactly how I feel about people that I meet down here. Even if I'm busy for 4 months and I come back and, oh, you got married, you're having a kid, it's like, where was I in a coma? Like, what happened to you people? And it's crazy. I don't know. It's just a different lifestyle. We're not focused on that stuff. We're focused on, bigger dreams and stuff. So it's different goals.
Since your time in New York, have you slowed down any as far as like working goes? Like, have you been able to come up with a schedule? Like, do you know what I mean? Do you pick and choose what jobs you get now, or do you just do as much as you can?
I pick and choose my jobs. Pretty much. I mean, I don't do a video a week because I don't do stuff for free. If I did stuff for free, I'm sure I'd be hella busy. But yeah, I get to pick and choose my stuff. As far as what makes sense to me, now I'm able to value my time differently. And I know what I'm worth. And that was something that took me a long time to realize, because even though I was doing good stuff, the value that was put on my worth was never anything that was great. So now I'm able to really value myself, and if it makes sense to me financially, if it's a cool project, then I'm down for it. And honestly, since I turned 30, if it's just a cool project, like if it's an awesome idea and it's an awesome band that's super super rad, you know what? Let's do it. I don't care. I just want to make cool stuff now. And I spent a lot of years making stupid rap videos of throwing money on asses, and I'm totally done with that. Totally done with that shit. Completely. I just want to make cool stuff. That's it.
Yeah. And Jon's motto is he likes to make stupid shit look cool. I mean, it's great. It's essentially your job, though.
That's essentially what I do.
Yep.
Stupid shit look cool. That's it.
Every time he raps a shoot, he's like, yeah, I just made some stupid shit look cool. My job here is done. Bye. So, what is something you know now that you wish you knew when you started all of this?
Don't listen to people who tell you that they have all the answers, because they don't. The people that talk the most are the ones who know nothing. If someone's trying to bait you and tell you, hey man, do this, because if you do this, I'm talking to this person and you could, but don't do it. No, always know your worth. Always know that what you are worth, always, because someone will always try and get something out of you for free. And don't ever fall for that. Always know what you're worth. And there is never any harm in just saying no. Don't give anybody a reason. Don't let anybody know why, but just say no. They're like, well, why don't you want to do it? It's like, I just don't want to do it. No. There is so much power in just the word no. Because if they're coming to you, they want your skills. You hold all the power in that situation, and you don't know it, but you do. If they cannot bring their vision to the next level without you. They need you. So you hold all the cards in that situation, and just know that you do, because it's super important.
Talk about sending raw files to people, because clients will ask, can you send me everything, just send it to me,
Raw files are like the holy grail of video, because that is my raw footage. That is the raw footage of the person who shot it. As a creator, you don't want anybody to see what's on the cutting room floor. You want them to see what I polished and created for you. You don't want to see all the stuff that I shot where I stepped on a weird angle and the camera went sideways. You don't want to see that. You want me to, as magicians, I only want you to see what I want you to see. I want to create this illusion for you. I don't want you to come in the back room and see all of my shit hanging out. So with record labels, a lot of the times they'll ask for a hard drive with the master files and the raw files. That's in the contract. That's, they pay for it. They own the footage. That's just part of their agreement with you. You're hired as a private contractor. They own the project. So that's with them. If you're doing stuff for free, I generally say probably not. If I don't know the person, or if I'm not really, really, really close with the person and they want the raw files, it's a no. That's just a no. It's a touchy thing. If I'm not obliged to send you the raw files, I won't. So keep those sacred.
Yeah, something I realized recently, and it seems so obvious, but a photo or a video doesn't exist until we put that card into a computer. Like that music video doesn't even exist until you put that in there. Like, we literally have the power to make or not make that, like you're saying, like, we are magicians, and the fact that people want to take advantage of that and that'd be like me asking fucking Linkin Park to send me the stems to one of their songs because I want to make a remix. Why does it make it okay to ask photographers and filmmakers? What is that mindset? Just confuses me so much. I don't get it.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it. Maybe sometimes when someone is trying to, this happened before when someone was trying to micromanage a situation, and they want all this stuff to themselves because they want to, I had one video where I was told to hold off on the edit and then send them the raw files, because they were going to send it to an editor, and then they were going to have me edit, and if my edit didn't look better than their editor's edit, then I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So now I want all the money that I'm owed right now, or else you're not getting anything.
Yeah. Wow. Man, people are fucking crazy.
I've had labels pay for a shoot and then decide they didn't want it edited, and they're like not going to pay the remaining cost of the video because they didn't want it. They paid for the production, and they're like, we just don't want it, so we're not going to pay you.
So you're like not even guaranteed. So you really do have to budget yourself then, like you were saying, like because of situations like that. I didn't even like think about that. Wow. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because usually with a music video, you're, it's 50% up front, 50% deposit, 50% up front, so we can get everything, all the props, everything crew, everything budgeted out. 25% day of shooting. Day we wrap, we get 25%. And then the remaining 25% is once the edit is complete and everything's settled upon, you send me the remaining 25%, and then I send you the master file. So that's how it's structured normally. So they paid the 50% deposit, and then they didn't want to pay the rest because they were like, oh, we don't want it anymore. Like,
I want to do an entire episode just on business, like with like a financial advisor or something, because there's so many things that I don't know about this industry that I should know. Like, for example, like you need to be charging tax on your invoices, like it took me a long time to figure that out. Like, it's simple things that like can really make that difference, that if you don't have a mentor, like I didn't have one either, like this was, like we were saying before, YouTube was like what it is now, and before social media is what it is now. Like I didn't know any of that shit. I didn't learn that in film school. Like they didn't even give me a camera in film school. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, and I mean, I've been so lucky to have the mentor that I have. He started being my mentor in about 2013 when I broke off with my old producer, and he's a titan in the industry. Like, he has been in the industry since the 80s, like executive level, and he would just tell me, because he would review thousands and thousands of videos and reels, and he would tell me, I sent him my reel, I'm like, hey, what do you think of this reel? And he's like, it's too short, you got to front pack it, you got to front load your reel, you got to keep it under 2 minutes, you got to put everything in the first 30 seconds, because that's the only thing they're going to watch, 30 seconds. So if you're a director, you got to show you can shoot beauty, action, every type of genre in the first 30 seconds. Front load it, because you want to get everything in as much as they can watch in the first 30 seconds. And so I would tailor all of my videos and stuff to his input, and it's just been insanely helpful. It's always so helpful when you have someone help you that doesn't want anything in return. They just want to help you. So that's rare.
Go find a mentor, guys. All right, give some final advice, and tell people where they can find you if they want to pick your brain, or if they potentially want to hire you. Let them know.
All right, so advice is, if you're thinking about getting into it, if you're thinking about starting to do it, just do it. Don't even think about it. You don't have to buy a nice camera. Use your phone, because the giant JVC that I spent a ton of money on, your phone is better. So use your phone. Steven Soderbergh's new film is on an iPhone. Don't feel any way about using an iPhone. Just start doing it. Just get out there, work with your friends, just hit up different bands on their social medias. Just start doing it. The hardest thing to do is start, and then know what you're worth. When you get a little higher and you start getting some clients, know how valuable your time is, and always never undervalue your time when it comes to editing something, when it comes to doing favors. Know that if this person's paying me this much money, I should be devoting this much time to it, and kind of balance it out like that, and never undervalue yourself. and just have fun. Don't get so into the business where you forget why you get into it, and always have fun with it. Always try different things, experiment. Don't do what anyone else is doing. If you want to, throw the camera at something and see what happens, do it. Just try different things. It's an art at the end of the day, and the only way you move forward is to do different things. So
don't throw your camera at things. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, don't throw your camera unless you have it tethered to your arm.
And guys, remember, Jon walked to 60 fucking production offices with a DVD with his reel on it. All you have to do is pick up your phone, go on the social medias, and literally DM people. It's so fucking simple, you guys. No excuses.
Yeah. No excuses. Get out there and do it.
All right, where can we find you?
www.jonvulpine.com, JONVULPINE.com, and all my social media is just at Jon Vulpine. So check me out. Look at some stuff.
Awesome.
Simple.
Thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was Jon Vulpine. You guys know where to find him. If you enjoyed this podcast, please let me know by giving it a rating. Be sure to subscribe if you are new. If you haven't subscribed yet, please help us grow this podcast. I wanted to create this for creators like you because I didn't have anybody there to tell me the mistakes that they made so that I wouldn't make those mistakes. So I wanted to make this podcast so that you would know the mistakes that we made so that you don't have to make those. And you can basically skip the mistakes and go straight to the success. So like I said, if you like this podcast, please let me know down below. You can follow me on Instagram at @KInagonio, which is my personal, or at @KInagonio Photography, which is my photo and video page. You can follow me on youtube.com/justtheletterK. I have a lot of content coming out soon. I also have a bunch of music coming out soon. I'm not really going to spoil anything, but just stay tuned, stay tubed, stay whatever. Turn on your subscription, notification, verification, stipulation, whatever. Just you guys know. I'll talk to you next week on Project Freelance. Down in the description, if you would like to get a discount on Adobe software, if you would like to get a discount on some photo contests where you can actually win money, camera gear, other kinds of prizes, notoriety. You can exhibit your work in art shows around the world, and you can get feedback from some of the top photographers in the world in the industry. So yeah, if you guys are interested in those things, check that out. There's also a few more goodies down below if you want to go check those out. Check out everything that Jon's working on. Follow him on the social media, and I will talk to you guys next week. My name's Kay. This has been another episode of Project Freelance. Also, real quick, one of the previous podcast guests said that they might be interested in creating like a members only section on my website, KInagoniaphotography.com, where they can network together. And I wanted to kind of reach out to you guys, the listening audience, to see if you would be interested in something like that as well. If I were to create a forum, for example, on my site, would you guys be interested in talking and networking on there? Please let me know, and I'll get that set up for you guys ASAP. Otherwise, if you guys are looking for a way to decorate your home, locker, office, university, whatever, medical, building, bank, if you guys are looking for artwork, I have a discount going on my photo website right now, KInagoniaphotography.com/prints. Or if you're looking to get a little bit more involved in the things I do, head over to respectthecrew.com. I am working on a 6-part documentary series about touring crew members, and I am currently raising money via GoFundMe, and you can get various things like Respect the Crew t-shirts, a custom tour all-access laminate, hats, possibly skateboards/longboards. Don't really know, trying to figure that out. But yeah, let me know if you guys are interested. I'll talk to you next week on Project Freelance. Later.